June 3rd, 1998. An ordinary summer morning in Germany. Inside a high-speed train racing toward Hamburg, passengers were relaxed. Some sipped coffee. Others folded open their newspapers. Outside, the countryside blurred past at more than 200 kilometers per hour. Everything felt smooth. Safe. Under control. And then, a sharp, metallic crack echoed from beneath the floor. Not loud enough to stop the train, but loud enough to change history. Seconds later, a jagged shard of steel exploded through the cabin floor between two seats, narrowly missing the passengers sitting there. A single piece of metal. That was all it took. This is the story of the Eschede crash. Welcome to Statza. Germany's pride, the ice. By the 1990s, Germany's intercity express, the ICE, was more than a train. It was a symbol. Sleek. Precise. Unstoppable. Capable of speeds up to 250 kilometers per hour, the ICE represented German engineering at its finest. It was considered one of the safest high-speed rail systems in the world. But beneath that polished, white exterior, a tiny design decision was quietly waiting to fail. A small change, a hidden risk. Originally, ice trains ran on solid steel wheels, single-piece, monoblock constructions built for strength. But passengers began noticing something unsettling. At high speeds, subtle vibrations crept through the cabin. Glasses rattled. Seats trembled. Nothing dangerous. Just uncomfortable. Engineers traced the issue to uneven wheel wear. So they introduced a solution, one that seemed smart at the time. A new wheel design. Two steel components separated by a rubber layer. The rubber absorbed vibration. The ride became smoother, quieter, more refined. It worked beautifully on city trams. But the ICE wasn't a tram. It moved at extreme speed. And at 200 plus kilometers per hour, physics becomes unforgiving. Every day, each wheel rotated hundreds of thousands of times. With each rotation, microscopic stress built up. Steel compressed, expanded, compressed again. Tiny cracks began forming in the outer steel ring. Cracks too small to see, too small to hear. And the rubber layer, the very feature designed to improve comfort, dampened the warning signs. The train felt smooth. But inside the metal, damage was growing. The breaking point. On the morning of June 3rd, ICE train 884 departed Hanover. 287 passengers. 8 crew members. A routine journey. Minutes into the trip, the wheel failed. The outer steel ring fractured. A large section tore free. One piece shot upward, ripping through the cabin floor. The fragment passengers stared at in shock. Another piece stayed trapped beneath the train. Grinding. Scraping. Unseen. The train kept moving at full speed. No emergency stop. No dramatic slowdown, just momentum. And then, the fatal moment. As the train crossed a track switch, a mechanism that guides trains between rails, the loose steel struck the switch mechanism. The impact forced the rails to shift. The front of the train continued straight. The rear did not. In an instant, the train twisted violently. One of the middle carriages slammed directly into a concrete bridge support. The collision was catastrophic. The bridge collapsed onto the train. Carriages behind it plowed forward at full speed. Metal folded. Concrete crushed steel. What had been a state-of-the-art train seconds earlier was reduced to wreckage. All in less than 10 seconds. The aftermath. The crash occurred near the quiet town of Eschede. Residents heard what sounded like an explosion. They ran toward the smoke. What they found was devastation. Collapsed concrete. Shattered compartments. Passengers trapped inside twisted steel. Rescue efforts were enormous. More than 1,000 emergency workers responded. Heavy machinery lifted debris. Doctors attending a nearby medical conference rushed to assist. But the destruction was overwhelming. In total, 101 people lost their lives. Many more were seriously injured. It remains the deadliest high-speed rail disaster in history. What investigators found? The cause was not sabotage, not extreme weather, not reckless driving. It was metal fatigue. Microscopic cracks had slowly expanded until the outer wheel ring fractured. There have been warning signs, maintenance reports, minor irregularities, but the risk was underestimated. A design meant to increase comfort had masked danger. A crack in a single wheel triggered a chain reaction across steel, rail, bridge, and gravity. Engineering failure rarely begins with something dramatic. It begins small. The lasting impact. After the disaster, the resilient rubber-layered wheels were removed from high-speed service. Solid monoblock wheels returned. Inspection procedures became stricter. Track switch systems were redesigned. Bridge supports were reinforced. Rail safety standards across Europe changed. Because of one failure. The lesson. At extreme speeds, small flaws become massive threats. A crack you cannot see. A vibration you barely feel. A design that appears safe until the moment it isn't. The Eschede disaster is a reminder. Technology can be brilliant, elegant, revolutionary, but it is only as strong as its smallest component. And sometimes, one small fracture is enough to rewrite history. This was the story of the deadliest high-speed train crash ever recorded. Subscribe to Statza TV for more real-world engineering stories, where innovation meets its breaking point. See you in the next episode.